we got a new WWE champion. The advertised match of the night was Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed champion. And the winner is CM Punk. CM Punk won the title. And if you want to win this title on my shoulder, you can. I'm giving it away. At 30,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a championship belt. Free shipping, free everything to win. All you got to do is comment below and subscribe to the channel, and you can win this right here. It's not a toy, people. It's a replica. It can be yours. That's a legit contest. And this is your one take, one shot Monday Night Raw review, where I do it immediately following Raw so you get my gut reaction. And my gut reaction to CM Punk winning the undisputed title is, I guess. I mean, I'm not thrilled with the idea, I'm going to be honest with you, but at the same time, like, I can't really find the plot hole in CM Punk himself winning. Now, granted, I guess the plot hole is this, the fact that they had a SmackDown championship being defended on Monday Night Raw. But that aside, I think it was at the 9:30 hour, I realized that Cody Rhodes was taken out so they could insert CM Punk as the mystery opponent for Sami Zayn because they were in Chicago. It made sense. And, I love CM Punk. I used to love CM Punk. I really did. But I think CM Punk has kind of changed. This version of CM Punk has changed from the one that I used to love. And I don't even blame the guy. We get older, we grow up, our views change. But the problem is I loved the 2011 CM Punk, and this version of CM Punk, I don't know. He's just, I wouldn't necessarily call him a sellout, but some people would. I could even understand it, but I would say he's not that anti-establishment guy that I actually liked from back in the day. And that's okay. You know what? That's okay. I don't have to love everybody. CM Punk coming tonight, it was fine. It was whatever. I wish Sami Zayn wouldn't have lost the title, but I am happy that Sami Zayn got a chance with the title. I'm ecstatic. I've said over and over again on this channel, you know what? Kane held the title for 24 hours, and that just freshened things up. Sami Zayn winning tonight did freshen up the title scene. And I'm glad Cody Rhodes didn't win, the title tonight. It freshens things up. I wish it would have gone to somebody else, but I understand. This decision wasn't necessarily for me, but I'm not going to crash out over it either, because at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, I can see why everything fell into the place it did. It was logical, with the exception of the fact that they had SmackDown guys fighting on Raw. But that's about the only real plot hole I can come up with. But yeah, CM Punk, I just know that the 2011 CM Punk, if somebody had just, returned out of nowhere, got a championship match, and then won, the 2011 CM Punk wouldn't have liked that. He would have sat crisscross applesauce and grabbed a microphone and let his feelings be known. But this CM Punk will be the guy who just comes back and does it. So I think that's where I'm just conflicted. I'm just conflicted because I wanted to like it more than I did, but I just couldn't, because again, I was like, that's just not exactly my CM Punk. But if you liked it, I'm really happy for you. If you're a huge CM Punk fan, then you should go out of your way and watch this. And Sami Zayn fan too, because this was a banger match. It was a great match. I'm not gonna lie. There were times that they actually fooled me to thinking, would they really let Sami Zayn win? Because, it was just I think it was just one time, and it was just for a brief millisecond, but hey, you know what? Kudos. Because, once I realized it was going to be CM Punk, I was like, yeah, it's a done deal. It was so predictable that he was going to win, and logical, that I almost couldn't get into the match. It took me a long time to get into the match because I just knew the outcome. But eventually they got me. So good job, CM Punk. Good job, Sami Zayn. This was a fantastic match. Not going to lie. But I would have done things different. You know what I would have done? I would have, like, LA Knight, yeah, he came out early in the show and confronted Seth Rollins, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But he confronted Seth and was like, just everybody skipping the line. They should have had LA Knight interfere because CM Punk, once again, someone skipped the line in front of him. He should have taken out CM Punk and they could have started a feud. I would have liked that. Or Jacob Fatu could have came in and interfered and was like, I don't want that title. I need that title. And because Jey Uso couldn't get the job done, well, here I am. Or my favorite would have been this. We have CM Punk and we have Sami Zayn. They're kind of going at it, and Claymore kick out of nowhere. And Adam Pearce all night long was calling somebody. What if he was calling Drew McIntyre? But Nick Aldis got CM Punk. And so when Drew McIntyre was on his way, and that's when he's like, hey, I'm here. Let's go. And Adam Pearce is like, oh, I'm sorry. CM Punk is already in the match. And Drew McIntyre is like, yeah, I'm not standing for that. I didn't come back here for nothing. Didn't get dressed up for nothing. He goes out, Claymore kicks CM Punk. I think that would have been cool too, especially with their history. But now we got a title change, and it does make the title picture like fresh again. So I think they made a logical choice. Just not the choice that I would have picked, and that's okay. Not gonna always agree with booking. I just like that. I do appreciate Sami got a title. The title scene is fresh. Cody didn't win it back, and the little bit of hot potatoing makes it a little more exciting. I stole that from a hot take from Jimbo Slice, by the way. I peeked at the hot takes already for tomorrow, but let's go over the rest of the show. Let me know what you think about it. If you're a CM Punk fan, you're going to absolutely love this. I will tell you that, though. We started off the show with the reason why Cody could not fight because Sami Zayn comes out, he's all happy, he drives in the back, and Cody Rhodes meets him, and Sami's like, oh, you don't think I can beat you, but I'm gonna, don't look down on me, and Cody's like, I just came to wish you good luck, but you're right, I am gonna beat you. He basically says that, but then Gunther attacks. He then turns his attention to Sami and he says, you're nothing. I'm gonna take that belt off you. I guess Cody's kind of getting in his car at this point, and Gunther slams the door on him, and now he's bleeding out his ear, and everybody's like, get out of here, Gunther. Gunther does leave, but later we'll see him get into another confrontation with Nick, and I did like this line from Gunther when he's yelling at Nick Aldis. He's like, you're a failed wrestler, and now you're a failed GM. Like, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis definitely getting into words, and Adam Pearce actually said, I don't like that guy, which I like. Cool. I want brand warfare. I really hope we get brand warfare. I hope that Adam Pearce becomes a full-blown heel. It would explain a lot of things, and I think it would actually be good. I think it would actually be good for the roster to have heels. However, you kind of want a heel GM and a babyface champion, and Roman's not really a babyface, so probably the heel should probably be on SmackDown with people like Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. But regardless, I'll be happy with the heel. I mean, Eric Bischoff and Triple H, they had their reign of terror as heel GM and heel champions. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Seth Rollins came out, and this is the version of Seth that I actually really love. I don't get to see it a lot, because usually Seth Rollins is too busy, being a maestro, conducting the crowd, listening to himself talk and laughing. No, I love serious, down-to-earth, let's get to business Seth Rollins. He actually said, all right, let's get the obligatory CM Punk chants out of the way. Let's get the whatever word I just said. He's like, let's do that for the OTC as well. And then he goes, Roman's not here. They start to boo. And he's like, yeah, I've already done that. I appreciate that Seth Rollins didn't go on and on again about how he doesn't show up. I mean, he did, but he did it differently. It didn't come across as he was bitter this time. It came across as if it hurt him, because he referred to right before WrestleMania 40. I brought up this sick burn so many times on this channel. In that one time, Roman completely buried Seth when he was like, I work 10 times less than you, but I make 10 times more than you. He's like, what do you want to make? What kind of money? Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief money, or Seth Rollins money? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that was a burial of Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins actually turned it around, and he was like, that just got me. That just got me. I've never done it for the love of the money. I've done it for the love of the sport. And he kind of retconned. He actually retconned a little bit, which means, you have an event in the past, but then you change something that makes you look at that past event in a different light. And he actually retconned the chair shot what broke up the Shield. And the retcon was that Seth Rollins, he had fought so hard to be the 9-year-old boy in the crowd, to follow the dreams of that 9-year-old boy to just be a superstar, come down the ramp, while Roman Reigns was just given everything. He couldn't cut a promo. He couldn't wrestle his way out of a wet paper bag. And to be honest, Roman couldn't cut a promo for the beginning half of his career. The big dog part of his career, his promos were not great, but the Tribal Chief stuff was. But like in the beginning, it wasn't. We got to call a spade a spade. If that's a spade, then it's a spade. And Roman did not always cut a good promo. Now, his ring work has always been, like, I've never thought that his ring work sucked, but, it probably did in the beginning, because when Roman entered into the Shield with Dean Ambrose and Seth freaking Rollins, they were already established, like, indie stars, Ring of Honor, and all that stuff, so he probably, compared to them, he probably wasn't that good, but Seth has even admitted in the past that Roman was a quick learner. That said, Seth really just said, I don't like that he was handed everything. I had to struggle and fight for everything, and no matter what I did, I always knew they were going to give it to him. I got bitter, and that made me make, decisions, and he alluded to one of the decisions being the fact that he did that chair shot, heard around the world, broke up the Shield, and he said every decision after that stems from Roman being given everything. And he's like, Roman needs to beat me. He needs to beat me because he needs to justify his own belief that, yeah, he doesn't have to be here. And it was just, I love the promo. I absolutely loved serious Seth freaking Rollins. I wish we got more of this. I don't like the architect and the whatever. I just don't. I like that what we saw tonight. Very serious, very subdued, monotone, just like, it was like almost old man Seth. Then, surprisingly, LA Knight came out. LA Knight came out and he cut the promo of his life, man. It was like LA Knight was fighting to remind the audience that he is relevant. and I love LA Knight. And he came out and he was like, when we were on top, who was the guy rising? Me, LA Knight, and then everybody else, they kind of just held me down. The Bloodline held me down, the Division held me down, and now you come out, and didn't you lose your first round pick, your first round in the King of the Ring? And then LA Knight's like, hey, so did I, no shame, but I didn't come out and say I deserve a title. I'm not the one coming out and be like, brother this, brother that, brother, where you guys just completely fawned over each other. And Seth Rollins actually almost broke character and laughed. I thought that was cool. And then Seth Rollins said, I do respect you, but I don't like you. That gets a pass. As long as you don't like your opponent, you can still respect them. From Seth Rollins, how he did it tonight. So, and he's like, you'll be the first one I beat when I beat Roman Reigns. So, fingers crossed. I'm not getting my hopes up, though. I've kind of given up on LA Knight. The only way LA Knight gets that championship if he can win the Money in the Bank. But Seth cut a great promo. He leaves. LA Knight's in the ring. He turns around. Jimmy Uso kicks him and says, keep my name out of your mouth, because those guys are feuding. So, yes, that is the beginning. I love the beginning of Raw. I didn't like the outcome of the end of Raw, but it was a great match. Everything in between, I think you can skip. I think you could probably skip. I mean, if you're a big Sol Ruca fan, you want to watch her match, and I think that's about it. They did pay off. They did pay off a 6 or 7 month storyline. Finally, we have the Vision They're in the back. Braun Breaker's basically saying nothing. He just looks like he's been neutered. And Logan Paul is like, I love you guys. I like Logan Paul in this role. He's just like, I love you. You're the best. You're the greatest. And you got me. You got me. And then Paul Heyman shows up. And Paul Heyman just trash talks the Vision. He's like, you beat Seth beat you, you lose the title, you better come back here with the title, otherwise, we're done. That's basically what he says. Braun Breaker, I get it, Braun Breaker's a heel and so is Paul Heyman, but Braun Breaker should have murdered Paul Heyman for speaking to him like that, like, honestly, because but whatever, I've given up on LA Knight, kind of, sort of, and I'm giving up on Braun Breaker, but I don't want to. Like, I keep telling myself I'm going to give up on those two, but in reality, I'm not. I'm just telling myself that over and over again because the booking of them just hurts my heart so much. Braun Breaker, Austin Theory, they go out there with Logan Paul against the Street Profits. Street Profits are the tag team champions. Logan Paul tries to give the brass knucks to Austin Theory. Ref sees it or something, and then he runs and he gives the brass knucks to Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker gonna get the brass knucks, and something happens to him where he's just kind of taken out though by Montez Ford and everything, and then I think Angelo Dawkins grabs the brass knucks, but Maxine Dupree, this is the payoff, she comes in and just low blows Angelo Dawkins. I get that a low blow is, it's a low blow, but that's all it took. I think we should have low blowed him and then got hit with the brass knucks. Whatever. 1, 2, 3. Maxine Dupree is a bigger asset at this point than Braun Breaker. Let's just say that. She's kissing Austin Theory, and Braun Breaker, they won, I guess. And I will say this, I do appreciate the titles not always having to be 800 days on somebody. So we did a quick hot potato of the world title. We did a quick hot potato of the championship. I will acknowledge that. I don't want to just be trashing the product. There are some positives. Sucks that the Street Profits couldn't get a longer title reign, though. And we go back to the back, and Paul Heyman just like, good job, Maxine. So, yeah, just Braun Breaker, just he doesn't say nothing. He doesn't do nothing. He's just there. He's a tag team champion now. Okay, cool. I guess it's better that he actually won the belt as opposed to just been given the belt. But the dude's neutered. The dude just put like a cone around his neck and like call it. That's his new gimmick. He gets in the ring, or he gets in a car, they drive away. Austin Theory, Maxine Dupree are kissing. We have Otis and Tozawa, they come out and they're like, oh my gosh. And all I could think was, I think Tozawa was going to pin Braun Breaker. That's literally what I thought. We have Raquel Rodriguez versus Sol Ruca. Sorry, I'm trying to get what happened up here. It was okay. Sol Ruca slipped one time, not the end of the world, but I hope she, nerves must be going on with her and stuff. She does a lot of aerial moves, as Corey would say. What does he say? High risk, high reward. That's why they call it high risk. Something, I don't know. I get why Sol Ruca won. I do get why Sol Ruca won. I just don't know why we gotta always make Raquel Rodriguez lose. She was doing really good work in the beginning of the year. I don't appreciate that. I understand Sol Ruca winning, but I don't appreciate Raquel Rodriguez losing. Like, maybe we could just have Sol Ruca fight somebody else. Because a lot of people get involved here. We have Roxanne Perez, she gets involved. Liv Morgan, she gets involved. Eventually, though, that will lead to Io Sky getting involved. And that will eventually lead to Sol Ruca getting a distraction and then being able to do the Soul Snatcher. She wins. So there. Bayley and Lyra, Bayley had a promo, but I forgot to mention last week that Lyra had a promo. Lyra's all like emo girl now. Emo. And Bayley's like, I can't believe it. You were my best friend. So next week, let's meet up. I do like Lyra turning heel. I'm like, I do want to see that. So Bayley, she tried to sell it like, you were my best friend of all time. You know that Lyra wasn't her best friend, but Bayley did her best. I do appreciate that. I'm still not over the fact that Bayley had two voices in her head at one point, and we never paid that off. But, fine stuff. It was fine. Whatever. We have Paul Heyman, Obafemi, they cut a promo. I think the promo went a little too long, but that said, I'm like way more happy that Obafemi's getting mic time. And he's getting it across from Paul Heyman. So, at the end of the day, I think it went too long, but that's fine because this is learning. There's no one better to learn from being a law across the ring from Paul Heyman. So, sometimes you need to get some mistakes to improve your game. And I think overall the promo was good. And the segment was good, just a little too long, not the end of the world. Sometimes people are like, I can't believe you didn't like that. I'm like, no, I didn't say that. I said that it had this little issue with it, but everything else was great. You had issue with it? No. I mean, well, yeah, but just a little issue. Nothing crazy. And it was basically just Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar in the Hell of the Cell. Brock's going to kill you. Oba's going to kill him. Paul Heyman reversed he's the mountain you can't climb. The fact that it's already 1-1, but then they keep kind of saying well, we're going to figure out who's unbeatable. I mean, they've both been beat. So no one's unbeatable. They've both been beat. That's the problem with making Oba lose at Clash in Paris. So just don't talk about how we're going to see who's unbeatable because, well, we've already saw it at WrestleMania and at Clash in Italy. Someone's unbeatable. We've already seen it. So, but good stuff overall. Then we had Rusev. I was surprised. So we had Rusev, Ethan Page versus Dragon Lee and Chad Gable. There's going to be a gauntlet match next week. You throw in Joe Hendry and the bouncy one, Javon Evans. But this one was just Rusev, Ethan Page. They let Ethan Page talk. Thank God. He's great on the microphone. These two are definitely palling around. They're a great comedy act, but can still be serious. So that's great. Chad Gable should have turned heel. We're doing nothing with the guy. It's just he's lost so much momentum from just a month or two ago when he had a mask on his face. But now he's just one of the good guys. Him versus him and Dragon Lee team up. Dragon Lee actually lost to the not the Steiner recliner, the Accolade from Rusev. So Rusev looked strong. Then Chad Gable got involved, but Ethan Page attacked him. So then they put the hurt on Chad Gable. So they looked strong again. But then here comes Joe Hendry. He gets a flurry of attack, but then he gets beat up. So I was happy with the treatment of Ethan Page and Rusev tonight. I was very happy about that. And I think that Chad Gable will win next week, and everybody's going to be like, see, that's why we had this. I'm like, no, we could have had Chad Gable and Penta have a match without having to have some kind of number one contenders match. I mean, Seth Rollins didn't need a number one contender match to get up against Roman Reigns. Sometimes the story can just happen. We should have done that. We should have had a story to make this happen. And I think that's it, though. I think that's it. That's Monday Night Raw. I really enjoyed the opening segment. Seth Rollins and LA Knight. I really enjoyed Ethan Page talking. I enjoyed the match of Sami Zayn and CM Punk. Not so much the outcome, but I understand the outcome. And they're in Chicago, I guess, if it's your hometown hero. Maybe the mayor of Chicago put pressure on WWE like the Saudis put pressure on WWE. If it's their hometown, it's like the anti-Vince McMahon policy. If you're in your hometown, you must win. So, all right, boys, all right, girls. What am I going to give this Raw? I'll give it a 6. There was a lot of things happened that were I would say are right, just not exactly how I would have done it. But whatever. I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude on YouTube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chops, maybe 7. Should I give it 7? The middle stuff just wasn't whatever. You know what? Like I said, I'll just give it a 7. What the heck? I'm feeling generous. See ya. Bye. 6.8.